Yeah, it will be on there, and it will be there. Sorry? Yes. Andy. Uh-huh. Yeah. He has volunteered first time to do this for us. So thank you, Jai Janendra. I know I moved some people away from signing. I think all those who want to read, there will be opportunities. There are gaps here. And please try to follow what is on the screen. My apologies that the online version does not exactly match with the books, but most of the things are, of course, similar. So if there is some difference, we'll take care of it at this end. No, I think I'm okay because I'll keep moving, so it's fine. Okay. Yeah, okay. All right. I'm ready, and I assume you all are too, right? Okay. Welcome to another year of Samvatsari English Pratikraman, and I hope you all have good shata and have done whatever best you could do in terms of tapasya. The way we're going to do this time, which is little different, we are live on YouTube, and our AV team advised that if you use the microphone, it is going to be better for them. We were live last year too, but we did not use microphone. So now then the challenge happens about how do we handle men and women. So we have Charmi, please raise your hand. On the girls' side, women's side, she will be moving with the mic and giving one who is reading the lesson. And Ahan is on the men's side. He will be doing the same part. So please bear with. And if you absolutely need to step out for anything, especially restroom, please do so quietly. Recommendation is not to. And on an average, it will be between 145 minutes to 2 hours. I'm hoping that we will be done before 7 p.m. Uh, One question, in the end, we do recite Moti Santi in the Magdi language. If anybody wants to do that or can read and do it, you are welcome to. Just let me know as we go forward. With that, lesson number one, Arya Jain. If there is any doubt, just follow the screen, okay? And this is purpose of doing Pratikraman. Yeah. I will literally be going as per these lesson numbers, and they are all numbered from 1 to 56. No, it's fine. Okay.
Is it on? Jayachinendra, Pratikraman means turning back to the self. Transgression of any limitation is called atrikraman. This is popularly known as atichar. Atichar can be said as a lapse from code of conduct, so literally, pratikraman means turning back from transgressions. As Jain householders, we are supposed to observe 12 minor vows against 5 major vows observed by monks and nuns. During Pratikaman, we overview our activities for any transgressions which might have occurred among these vows. So Pratikaman reminds us to live within set limitations. There is a five-fold code of conduct pertaining to 1. Knowledge, perception, behavior, authenticity, exercising vigor. There are also various restrictions laid down to regulate our essential activities. Monks are supposed to avoid all sorts of violence, lying, stealing, sensuous, and possessions. Laymen have their limitations and cannot avoid them totally. Restrictions in these respects have therefore been modified. There are 5 minor vows. 3 subsidiary restrictions in these respects have vows laid down for augmenting the effectiveness of the minor vows and 4 disciplinary vows. Any lapse or transgression or these vows is called atrikaman. Therefore, we undertake pratikaman by pondering over the code and the restraints one by one and take into consideration the faults and lapses pertaining to them and with a view to an atonement. During this pratikaman, even if we might not have taken these vows, we still atone for lapses pertaining to them and wish that one of these days we can take these vows. This way, we try to ask for forgiveness for our ill actions and purify ourselves and improve upon our future activities. This enables us to shed off some of our previous karma and also to slow down or prevent the inflow of new karmas.
Thank you. Lesson 2, Rayan Jain.
Namo Adihantanam. I bow down to Adihant. Namo Siddhanam. I bow down to Siddhas. Namo Ayadhiyanam. I bow down to Acharya. Namo Uvajayanam. I bow down to Apadi. Namo Love Savasahunam. I bow down to the universal fraternity of sadhus and sadhavis. This five-fold obeisance destroy all sins and is the foremost among all the auspicious activities.
Adi Ajmera for the third one. I will read lesson titles so that you can follow. 36 attributes of my preceptor. You have the book or you do not have the book? Yeah, can you read from the screen?
Lesson 3, 36 attributes of my perceptor. The perceptor effectively controls 5 sense organs and observe the guidelines limitation of celibacy. He, she is free from our 4 passions of anger, ego, deceit, and greed. He, she is thus equipped with these 18 attributes. He, she practices 5 great vows of nonviolence, truth, and non-accepting anything unless specifically offered, celibacy, and non-possession. He, she is capable to observe 5-fold code of knowledge, perception, conduct, austerity, and vigor. He, she observes 5 careful action pertaining to movements, utterance, desire, acceptance, and disposal. He, she effectively controls 3 aspects of mind, speech, and body. In all, my perceptor is thus embedded with these 36 attributes.
Thank you. Lesson 4, Aryan Ajmera, the obeisance to teachers.
With 3 times clockwise movement of folded hands, I bow down to you and kneel down to you. I honor you, Lord, and respect you. You are blessed, you are auspicious, and you are divine. You are learned, and you give peace to all souls.
Thank you. Lesson number 5, Holy Kotari, repentance for sins occurred while walking.
I desire to free myself from all sins. I may have pained living beings while walking on the road. While coming or going, I may have crushed living beings, seeds, plants, dews, anthills, spider webs, live water, or live earth. Whatever living beings or souls with 1 sense, 2 sense, 3 sense, 4 sense, or 5 senses, that I may have inflicted pain, crushed, attacked, covered with dust, rubbed, collided with one another, tormented by turning on one side or completely upside down, moved from one place to another, frightened, bothered, alarmed, or separated from life, may all such sins be dissolved. Tasamichami Dukram.
Dukram. Thank you. Lesson 6, Charmi Kotari, uplifting the soul.
I do Kayotsarg, that is, forsake all activities by adopting a motionless posture for repenting and achieving further purification, and for nullifying and destroying my sins and karmas by remaining at one place for uplifting of my blemished soul. Let my Kayotsarg be unbroken and non-violent from exceptions such as breathing in or out, coughing, sneezing, yawning, burping, passing bodily gases, dizziness, vomiting sensation, fainting, subtle bodily movements such as swallowing sputum or flickering of the eyes, or by thieves, king, fire, fierce animals, etc. Until I complete it by mentally reciting Navkar Pad to the Arihants, I will keep my body steady at one place in complete silence and meditation, and keep away from all sinful activities.
Thank you. Now we're going to do Kausar for 4 nokars. I will recite the last stanza and then we'll do that. Taukai Thananam Jananam Oranam Appanam Vosirami. Please recite 4 nokar mantras. Namoriyantaram. Lesson number 7, Arya Jain. Prayer to 24 Tirthankars and all Siddhas.
I chant, appreciate, and praise Arihant Lords and the Kavli lords who are destroyers of karma enemies, conquerors of love and hatred, founders of fourfold sanghas, and who cause luminescence in the entire universe. I bow down to them. The names of these 24 Tintankars are: may these 24 Tintankars and other Kavali Jinnas who have removed the karma particles, who have destroyed and ended the cycle of aging and death, be pleased with me. O Lord Siddhas, you are supreme in the universe, free from karmas. I have praised you verbally, bowed down to you physically, and worshipped you mentally. Hence, to bestow upon me the benefit of true faith and deep meditation, and may you give me the supreme position of Siddha. O Lord Siddhas, purer than the moon, brighter than the sun, calmer than oceans, confer upon me the blessed liberation.
Thank you. We're going to do the Mupatti and Vandana. Please follow me. Ichami kamasuna mandiru janu jani siyaya mathen ondami. O forgiving Gurudev, I'm giving up all my wrongful acts with all my strength and bow down to you with my head near to your foot. And to do this now, it's me. One side, take it on the other, and while you're doing that, the purpose objective is vibrate once and say, Ichakaran Sandisa Bhagavan Samaik Mupatti Padileram. O forgiving Gurudev, may I have your kind permission to inspect the Mupatti? Yes, you may. Your wish is my wish. And now, open it, hold it on two hands, turn it around. I discard three types of perception, obstructing, delusion, karma. Do it one more time. I discard three types of attachments: sensual, affection, and vision related. Now you fold it in the middle and then fold it again 1 inch below that. So now you have your regular Mupatti. Hold it in the right hand, and we're going to do 3 times from up, down. Hold it in the right hand, and we're going to move up on the left side, left arm. First time reciting, I accept right Dev, right Guru, and right religion. And go the reverse. I discard wrong Dev, wrong Guru, and wrong religion. Moving it second time, I accept right knowledge, right faith, and right conduct. Going down, I discard wrong knowledge, wrong faith, and wrong conduct. And the third and final time, I accept control of activities of mind, speech, and body. And moving it down, I discard inauspicious activities of mind, speech, and body. And now, gently vibrate this on the back of the left hand. I discard harmful laughter, happiness in sinful activities, and unhappiness in spiritual activities. And then holding it in the left hand, you vibrate on the right hand. I discard fear, sorrow, and disgrace. Then you take the Mupatti and put it on your charavada or in front of you. And when you do the Vandana, please touch your forehead and touch the Mupatti. And we'll be doing it totally 6 times in the burst of 3 each. Ichami kamasra mandir janu jani siyai anujanam me miyugam nisihi. Aho kayam kayam jatabe jawani janchambe kapali pulaname bosabedve divaso vaikanto jatabe jawani janchambe kamemi kamasamno. Now we go to lesson number 8, and we don't have anybody who has signed up. So any volunteer? Go ahead, Ahan.
I abandon the mind, body, and speech of these sinful activities, the area being the entire universe. the time limit being 48 minutes and above that, until I do not ritually complete the vow with my pure attitude by six limitations attentively and vigilantly. O respected lords, I perform the vow of Samayak. O revered lords, I undertake Samayak and vow to abandon all sinful activities in two ways. That is, I will not do and not get it done, and by three means of mind, body, and speech, until my vow lasts. O revered lords, I refrain from all my sins. I censure my sins, and even more so in the presence of you. I vow to keep my soul away from sins.
Right. Lesson number 9, Vaishya Ajmera.
I offer respect to Lord Siddhas and Aryans, who are pioneers of religion, founders of fourfold Sangh, self-enlightened, supreme, strong as lions, pure like the best Pundarik lotuses, like the best Gandhasti elephants. In the universe, you are supreme, master of all, beneficent to all, and illuminating like a lamp. You are endowers of fearlessness, bestower of true vision, guides to the religious path, givers of shelter to those troubled by life and death, donors of religion, preachers, leaders, guides, and charioteers of the right faith. You end the transmigration of souls from the cycle of births. You are an island for the souls sinking in the life ocean, saviors of souls. You are bearers in absolute knowledge and vision. Your ignorance is totally gone. You are victors of craving and aversion and are the cause for others to win over the same. You have crossed over the ocean of transmigration and caused others to do so. You are self-enlightened ones and are inspirator of enlightened faith to others. You have self-liberated from karmas and are liberators to others. You are the omniscience lords, have omnivision. You are free from calamity, steadfast, free from diseases, infinite and endless, unperishable and unmolested. O Lord Siddhas, you have reached to the state from where rebirth is ruled out, and you are liberated, while, O Lord Aryants, you have reached to the state from where rebirth is ruled out, and you would be liberated. My salutation to those Janashwaras who have conquered all 7 fears.
Thank you. Lesson number 10, Mahavir Jain. Mahavir Jain.
I bow to Lord Parshvanath, who is served by the demigod Parshva, who is the remover of all afflictions, free from all sorts of karmas, the destroyer of the poisonous animals, and is the abode of bliss and well-being. If one regularly wears the charm of Vishadhar's fulling snake charmer on his neck, planetary animosity, disease, plague, and severe fevers would be calmed down. Aside from that charm, even bowing to you would be highly fruitful, resulting in divine life. All beings would not thereby be in an unhappy or a miserable state. If one gains the truth presented by you, which is superior even to the desire-yielding tree, the soul can gain ageless and immortal state without any obstacles. Great graceful Lord, I have adored you this way with devoted heart. Therefore, Lord Parshvanath, kindly bless me with the true knowledge in every remaining birth.
Thank you. Lesson number 11, Jia Mehta.
Detached Lord, preceptor of the universe, victory to you. My Lord, be your grace, let me have the following. Delusion for embodiment, treating along the true path, attainment of desired fruits, abandonment of activities against the public interest, worship of worthy, benevolent actions, contract the true guides of lifelong uninterrupted followings of your precepts. Detach, Lord, of your scriptures, forbid to treat on the bondage to ask any specific reward for the deeds. Still, I pray you to for servitude at your feet, birth after birth. By bowing to you, let me get destruction of afflictions and karmas, equanimous death, and gain the benefit of true perceptions.
Thank you. Lesson number 12, Rihan Sangini. Am I reading it wrong? Yes?
I offer respect to all those monks and nuns who go around with the permission of their superior and follow the principles laid down further by passionless Lord, passionless
Passionless
Lord
Lord.
Arihants and Siddhas. They are all my religious teachers, preceptors,
Preceptors and preachers.
um, comforters, and of true faith and knowledge, the ornaments of path of Jainism, and were worthy of many titles. I offer
Obeisance.
to them now, now and again, and let it to reach wherever they may be.
Thank you. Now we do the car circle for one Naukar. Takai Tharam Muram Janam Pranam Bosirami. Please recite one Naukar mantra. Taram. Lesson number 13 is reciting Naukar mantra with the meaning 3 times. We all can do together. Namo Arihantanam. I bow down to Arihants. Namo Siddhanam. I bow down to Siddhas. Namo Ariyanam. I bow down to Acharyas. Namo Vajjayanam. I bow down to Padhyas. Yep, second time. Bow down to Acharyas. Namo Vajjayanam. I bow down to Padhyas. Namo Loya Savasaranam. I bow down to the universal fraternity of sadhus and sadhus. This fivefold obeisance destroys all sins and is the foremost amongst all the auspicious activities. Namo Ariyantanam. To Acharyas. So we have taken the Samaik and now we are going to begin the Pratikraman with the lesson number 14, Rayan Jain.
I bow down to Arihants, Siddhas, Acharyas, Upadhyas, and to the universal fraternity of sadhus and sadhus. This fivefold obeisance are destroyers of uns and is the foremost among all the auspicious activities.
3 times.
I bow down to Arihants, Siddhas, Acharyas, Upadhyas, and to the universal fraternity and sadhus and sadhavis. This fivefold obedience destroyer all sins and is the foremost among all auspicious activity. I bow down to Arihants, Siddhas, Acharya, Upadhyas, and to the universal fraternity of sadhus and sadhavis. This fivefold obesity destroyer of all sins and in the foremost among all the auspicious activities.
Thank you. Need a volunteer from this side for lesson 15, 3 times. Go ahead. Charmi. And then lesson 16 this side, 3 times after that.
With 3 times clockwise movements of the folded hands, I bow down and kneel to you. I honor you, Lord, and I respect you. You are blessed, you are auspicious, and you are divine. You are learned, and you give peace to all souls. With 3 times clockwise movements of the folded hands, I bow down and kneel to you. I honor you, Lord, and I respect you. You are blessed, you are auspicious, and you are divine. You are learned, and you give peace to all souls. With 3 times clockwise movements of the folded hands, I bow down and kneel to you. I honor you, Lord, and I respect you. You are blessed, you are auspicious, and you are divine. You are learned, and you give peace to all souls.
16 lesson, any volunteer this side? Yeah, go ahead.
My adorable teacher sitting steady at one place, I pray for the permission for repentance, Pratikraman of lapses committed during the daytime. I am doing Pratikraman to prevent the incoming new karmas and to erase previously accumulated karmas and for pondering and over the violations pertaining and vows and while attempting to acquire knowledge and perception.
You need to do it 3 times, so let's go. My adorable teachers, sitting steady at one place, I pray for your permission for repentance, Pratikraman of lapses committed during the daytime. Very good. Volunteer this side for lesson 17. Desire for atonement. Somebody should get ready this side for lesson 18 after the Paryushan, and it's a little long one.
O forgiving Gurudev, I want to bow to you by keeping away all faults to the extent of my power. O forgiving Gurudev, bowing my head, I ask for your forgiveness for the faults that have been committed while undertaking essential activities during the daytime. O forgiving Gurudev, I will refrain from any of the 33 unworthy acts pertaining to false notions, evil mind, rude words, anger, pride, cunning, or greed that upset religious vows. O forgiving Gurudev, I resent such unworthy acts, and in your presence I atone for the same, and I will keep my soul away from all such sins.
Thank you. We're going to do the Kalsark for 4 nokars. Taukai Thanar Moram Janam Aparam Vo Sirami. 4, recite 4 nokars. Okay, volunteer for lesson 18 on this side. Please go ahead. Mike, Ahan, here in the front. Ahan in the front.
Lesson 18, learning, studying, and teaching the scriptures.
This side.
I reflect on, confess the 14 wrongdoings Aticha related to learning, studying, and teaching the scriptures in the threefold ways, like scriptural texts themselves, their commentaries and meanings, and or all. I might have committed one or more of the following wrongdoings: Atichar, reciting the sutras in random order, pronouncing a word or stanza more times than it should be, failure to utter some letters or words during the recitation, uttering extra letters or words during recitation, uttering either more or less words in combination during recitation, reciting without proper discipline, reciting in a bred state of mind, speech, or body, uttering the assented syllabus in a poor way, not teaching the scriptures to a deserving person, teaching the scriptures to a non-deserving person who has a harmful intention to prove the right or wrong as wrong and the wrong as right, studying the scriptures at improper times, not studying them at proper times, studying at improper places, not studying at proper places. I could have contradicted or not duly respected or not learned the right knowledge. I might have been ungrateful to the gurus. I might have been wrongly disputed with a learned person. I might have so behaved as to incur knowledge, obscuring karma. I might have kept my books scattered anywhere and everywhere, or put them on the floor instead of on the stand bookshelf. I might have used the religious book as a pillow or touched it with my foot. I might have not taken care of it. I might have misinterpreted, laughed, or ignored the words of scriptures because of obstinacy, wrong instances, impudence, or as well as evil intention caused by perversity. If I have indulged in any of the above facts or lapses by physical, verbal, mental activities, directly or indirectly, then I pray that such faults be dissolved. Tassamichami.
Thank you. Lesson 19. Volunteer from, please, Charmi. Oh.
I desire to know the true and perfect meaning of the Holy Scriptures, to develop faith towards true God, Guru, and religion, and to serve and to associate with such Gurus who have studied the Holy Scriptures in depth. I desire to abandon the hypocrites who consider sinful acts as religious. I also want to disassociate from those who have deserted religion after right perception. I wish to become a follower of the saints and keep faith in those who truly follow true religion. These are following 5 major violations pertaining to faith: loss of faith, following wrong faith, doubting about consequences, to be impressed by outward showy performances, or to associate with the wrong. If I have indulged in any of the above five violations by physical, verbal, or mental activities, then may all such sins be dissolved. Tassamachami.
Thank you. Lesson 20, Nonviolence, Monali.
The first minor vow is to refrain from violence towards all living beings. When will that auspicious day comes in my life when I would take the vow not to kill deliberately, intentionally, or unknowingly any of the mobile beings, namely those with 2 senses, 3 senses, 4 senses, and 5 senses, except those which may inflict pain to my body or my dependents. Until I can take that vow, I shall try not to hurt or kill the smallest leaves, or ask anyone else to do so, or encourage those who are doing so mentally, verbally, or physically. There are following 5 major violations pertaining to this vow of nonviolence: conflicting any being, inclusive of animals and birds, where it could hurt them or where there is no freedom; hitting them with sticks or by any other means; piercing nose, ear, or amputating limbs or any part of the body; making them carry heavy load, or depriving them of food, shelter, etc. If I have indulged in any of the above acts, then may all my such sins be dissolved. Tasamichami Dukram.
Thank you. Lesson 21, Ujjwal.
Truthfulness. The second minor vow is to refrain from speaking gross lies. When will that auspicious day come in my life when I can take vow not to speak lies pertaining to matrimonial matters, trading in animals or land, misrepresenting or denying somebody's property deposited, or becoming a false witness, etc. Until I can take this vow, I shall try not to lie or ask someone else to lie for me, or encourage those who indulge in lies mentally, verbally, or physically. There are following 5 major violations pertaining to this vow of truthfulness. 1. Uttering dreadful or shocking words. 2. Divulging someone's secrets. 3. Wrong advice. 4. False witnessing or preaching. Or 5. False documentation or forgery. If I have indulged in any of the above acts, then may all my such sins be dissolved. Tasamichami Dukram.
Tejal for number 22.
Non-stealing. The third minor vow is to refrain from theft. When will the auspicious day come in my life when I can take the vow not to take someone's belongings without permission, steal buried treasure, open someone's package, open someone's lock with another key, or knowingly take someone's belonging? Stealing, personally asking someone else to do so for me, or encouraging others to do so mentally, verbally, or physically. Until I take this vow, I shall try to observe these principles in my life to the best of my abilities. There are following 5 major violations pertaining to this vow of non-stealing: buying stolen or smuggled goods, helping any thief, burglar, or smuggler, doing anything against the state or forbidden by law, using inaccurate weighing or measuring instruments, or adulteration or supplying inferior goods after showing superior variety. If I have indulged in any of the above acts, then may all such sins be dissolved. Tassa michami dukram.
Need a volunteer for lesson 23. Go ahead.
Lesson 23, self-control over sensuality. The fourth minor vow is to refrain from gross sensuality. When will that auspicious day come in my life when I can take this vow to be content with my own spouse and forbid sensual pleasures with anybody other than spouse? This is to be observed in 3 ways: personally, asking someone else to do for me, and encouraging others to do so mentally, verbally, or physically. Until I take this vow, I shall try to observe these principles in my life to the best of my abilities. There are the following 5 major violations pertaining to the vow of self-control over sensuality. 1. Having marital relationships with a minor spouse. 2. Having marital or extramarital relations. 3. Having perverse relations. 4. Getting others involved into sensual pleasures. Or 5. Being obsessive towards sensual activities. If I have indulged in any of the above acts, then may all my such sins be dissolved.
Chami Dukara. Neva M for lesson 24.
The fifth minor vow is to lay down limitations on property and possessions. When will that auspicious day come in my life when I can take the vow to set limits on accumulation of real estate, jewelry, garments, apparatus, and instruments, food provisions, housewares, vehicles, etc.? I shall try not to accumulate possessions over and above the limit so set. This is to be observed in 3 ways: personally, asking someone to do for me, or encouraging others to do so mentally, verbally, or physically. There are following 5 major violations pertaining to this vow of limitation of accumulations: accumulating too much open land or properties, accumulating too much gold, silver, precious jewelry, etc., accumulating too much cash, accumulating too many vehicles, or accumulating too many housewares and equipments. The first, If I have indulged in any of the above acts, then may all my such sins be dissolved.
Chami Dukram. Thank you. Lesson 25, Monica. Did I say it right? Manika, Manika, Mahika. Sorry, my apologies.
The first supporting vow is to restrict dealings within limited directions. When will that auspicious day come in my life when I can take a vow and set limits on dealing in different directions? They are upward, downward, east, west, north, and south, and I will stay within that. I shall try to observe these limitations to the best of my abilities and try not to cross them willingly and get involved in the 5 evils of violence: lies, theft, passion, and greed. I would not do it myself or ask someone else to do it for me, or encourage them to do so mentally, verbally, or physically. There are the following 5 major violations pertaining to this vow of geographic limitations. 1. Crossing limits of upward direction. 2. Crossing the limits of downward direction. 3. Crossing the limits of eastern, western, northern, or southern directions. 4. Curtailing the limit of one direction to extend the limits of another. Or 5. Proceeding in spite of indication that the limit is over. If I have indulged in any of these above acts, then all may my such sins be dissolved. Thus
Chami Dukram. Thank you. And I have another challenge with the spelling. Is it Y-A-G-I? Thank you.
The second supporting vow is to restrict the amount and numbers of articles which can be used and reused, and avoid occupations involving gross violence. When will that auspicious day come into my life when I can take the vow to restrict the number of towels, napkins, bathing water, garments, toothbrushes, oil, lotions, paste, cosmetics, ornaments, incense, beverage, sweets, variety of grains, pulses, ghee, oil, milk, curds, green vegetables, fruits, numbers of item in my diet, water, flowers, etc. I also desire that I will be able to restrict the number of vehicles, footwear, beds, mattresses, animate things such as fruits with seeds, unboiled water, etc. I shall try to restrict to the best of my abilities from consuming or using such and other things, and not to exceed the set limits personally which someone else to do for me, or encouraging others to do mentally, verbally, or physically. I shall also try not to get engaged in any occupation that involves gross violence to other living beings personally. asking someone else to do so, or encouraging others to do so mentally, verbally, or physically. These are the following 5 major violations pertaining to the vow of limitation of consumption: consuming animate things, using inanimate things that are in contact with animate things, consuming something that is partially cooked, consuming something that is cooked in a cruel way, or consuming something that is which is there that is less to eat and more to discard. If I have indulged in any of the above acts, then may all of these such sins be dissolved. Tasamichami dukaram. These are the following 5 major violations pertaining to this vow of limitation of occupations: occupations in which furnaces are used, occupations in which trees are cut, occupations in fermented goods such as liquor, occupations of renting animals, birds, occupation involving excavations and explosions, trades in ivory, bones, horns, fur, etc., manufacturing activities concerning with crushing, trades in lard, honey, meat, fat, etc., trades in sealing wax, etc., trades in poisonous and toxic substances such as opium and pesticides, occupations in which animals, birds, fish are tortured or killed, occupations in which animals, birds, etc. are amputated, occupation in which fires are set in forests and fields, occupations in which lakes, wells, ponds are dried up, or occupations in which wicked men, prostitutes, or call girls are supported. If I have indulged in any of the above acts, then may all such sins be dissolved.
Smichami dukkharam. Volunteer from the men's side for 27. Yeah. Ahan, bring the mic to the front. And somebody for 28 on this side.
8th vow. The third supporting vow is to refrain from purposeless and meaningless violence. When will that auspicious day come in my life when I can take the vow not to get involved in any of the meaningless violent activities? These activities are concentration on evil, cruel, or mournful thoughts, reluctance towards righteous or good deeds, possession of deadly weapons, and preaching of sinful acts. And one should not indulge in them in any of the 3 ways of doing personally, asking someone else to do, or encouraging others to do so, mentally, verbally, or physically. I shall try to observe these principles in my life and to the best of my abilities. There are following 5 major violations pertaining to this vow of restriction on purposeless violence: uttering words that would arouse passion, performing bad gestures, carelessly speaking meaningless jargons, collecting deadly weapons, or excessive attachment towards consumer items. If I've indulged in any of these acts, then may all my such sins be dissolved. Tassa Michami Dukram.
Thank you. Lesson 28. Any volunteers? Yeah, oh, go ahead.
This training vow is to remain in self-control whenever an opportunity arises. I will undertake to do a samayik, that is self-control, for at least 48 minutes and do it flawlessly. During this, I will refrain from sinful and evil activities personally, asking someone else to do so, or encouraging others to do so mentally, verbally, or physically. There are following 5 major violations pertaining to this vow of self-control for a short time. 1, mentally indulging in a foul way. 2, using foul language. 3, doing foul acts. 4, performing samayik negligently or carelessly. Or 5, terminating it prematurely. If I have indulged in any of these above acts, then may all my such sins be dissolved.
Thank you. Lesson 29 says Anya.
Okay.
This vow is to put additional limits of the six directions for 1 day from the dawn of the day for 1 day and night. I will observe this vow to limit myself from willful and physical movements in any of these directions, mentally, verbally, or physically. There are following 5 major violations pertaining to this vow of day-to-day additional limits, calling for something or someone from beyond the set limits, sending for something or someone beyond the set limits, sending anything beyond the set limits, summoning any beyond the set limits by shouting or conveying any message beyond the set limits by gesture. If I have indulged in any of the above acts, then may all my such sins be dissolved.
Lesson 30, Arav.
Could Arav please raise his hand?
It's okay. It's okay, Han.
Can I have
Arav, is Arav going to read?
what do I read? There are vows. There are following 5.
No, I think, can you either help him or...
This vow is to train the soul in pure religious activities for 1 day when
the circumstances arise from the dawn of the day for 1 day and 1 night. Go on from there.
I will live like a monk to become pure by doing so that the day I will observe, fast, or eat only once, abstain from passions, and avoid jewelry, gold, flower, garlands, cosmetics, and all other worldly things. I will observe the same mentally, verbally, and physically. There are following 5 major violations pertaining to this vow of, of practicing the life of a monk, making bed carelessly without taking care of living beings, not sleeping or sleeping carelessly. The place for monk making the bed, not watching carefully places while walking, disposing the excrete carefully without looking for living beings, or not following this vow in proper manner. If I have indulged in any of the above acts, then may all my such sins be dissolved.
Volunteer for lesson 31. Ahan. Back. Ahan, you need to pay attention. In the back, yeah. And then 31 to the person who is standing. I mean, sorry, 32. So 31, go ahead.
Sharing with guests.
Push it down.
Sharing with guests.
No.
Sharing with guests and others.
It's okay, go ahead.
Or with whoever who may come to get food and provisions. I shall cherish desire of offering and sharing with religious saints and others who have renounced everything, who take only innocent food, water, other eatables, etc., who wear simple white clothes, use wooden pots and utensils, etc. There are following 5 major violations pertaining to this vow of sharing with guests and others: mixing inanimate and animate things while offering, covering inanimate and animate things with an intention to avoid offering, offering something which is spoiled, fermented, or stale, asking others to offer instead of offering myself, in spite of being personally able to offer, or indulging in pride for offering. If I have indulged in any of the above acts, then may all my such sins be dissolved. Tasam Dukadam.
Lesson 32. Yeah.
Santara. When all the purposes of life have been served, or when the body becomes unable to serve any purpose, I wish to be able to adapt Santara, a religious fast to death. Then I would abandon all 18 types of sins and 4 types of foods. I would also abandon my body, which is very dear to my mind, the abode of my faith, like a box of ornaments containing precious stones. I would not care for the body in spite of feeling cold, hot, hungry, thirsty, or undergoing insect bites, troubles by other people's, diseases including those which may cause delirium or other severe physical suffering. I wish to be able to abandon my body to my last breath. In this case, I would remain indifferent to death to the extent of my ability. At that time, I would sweep and clean the place of my need, would be very careful where I dispose the waste, lay a bed of grass or straw, sit on such bed, face the northeast direction with cross-folded legs or a posture possible under the state of health, with folded hands saying salutations to the Arihant Lords who have already attained moksha. Then I would bow to a guru if present, and I would repent for my misdoings, violent acts, falsehoods, thefts, sensualities, and worldly belongings. During Santara, I wish to be able to shun all unworthy acts personally by me or asking someone else to do it for me, or encouraging others to do so mentally, verbally, or physically. There are following 5 major violations pertaining to this vow of Santara. Desiring worldly status like becoming an emperor or wealthy after death, desiring to become a divine personality after death, desiring prolonged life with a view of becoming popular, desiring early death in order to cut short the physical pains, etc., or desiring sensual pleasures of the world. I shall try to avoid such lapses, but if I do indulge in any of the above acts, then I pray that may all my such sins be dissolved. Tassa michami dukram.
Lesson number 33, Jain Sa.
I reflect on and confess wrongdoings. Achichar related to energy or strength. If I am guilty of my wrongdoings, of this matter, I request to be forgiven and my sins nullified. I might have been guilty of dissipating the energy or strength of the mind, though sinful activities of the mind or the energy or strength of speech through untruthful activities of the speech, or the energy or strength of the body, though wicked activities of the body. From my birth until today, I'm in previous lives. If I've been guilty of breaking or offending against any vow, whether I took it or not, knowingly or unknowingly, either by day or night, by physical nature of activity, place, time, or desire, either partly or wholly. If I have been guilty of thinking, committing sins of preparation for the commutation of such sins, of attempting to commit such sins, or of actual commission of the sins, otherwise been guilty either by thought, speech, or action, remain summoned and held guilty or approved of any such lapis or guilt, then keeping the infinite Arihantis and Siddhus and the revered Kevalis as my witnesses, I wish to be forgiven and my sins nullified. If I have indulged only the above faults or lapises by physical, verbal, mental activities, directly or indirectly, then I pray that my such sins will dissolve. Sasa Machare Dukkha.
Lesson 34, can I have a volunteer from this side? In the back.
In our life, we come across the following 18 sinful activities: to hurt or kill living beings, to lie, to steal, unchastity, worldly possessiveness, anger, pride, deception, greed, craving, aversion, quarreling, allegation, gossiping, criticism, being happy in sinful acts, unhappy in religious acts, to lie maliciously, to trust the wrong God, guru, or religion. If I have committed any of above 18 sinful acts personally, asked someone else to do for me, or encouraged others to do so, then in the presence of infinite siddhas and kevalis, I ask for forgiveness. May all my such sins be dissolved. Tasamichami Dukram.
Thank you.
25 types of wrong beliefs, mithyatva. There are 25 different types of wrong beliefs. Stubbornly supporting the false viewpoint without discrimination of true or false, believing in all gods and teachers without discrimination, persisting in views and opinions in spite of knowing that they could be false, suspicion about true religion, absolute ignorance, celebrating so called festive or holy occasions of gods or teachers who do not conform to true religion, worshipping Tirthankars with selfish motives, agreeing with hypocrites, considering living as non living, and considering non living as living, considering saint or monks as non saintly or no monks, considering no non saints or no monks as saints or monks, considering liberated souls as non liberated, and considering non liberated souls as liberated, considering holy as unholy, and considering unholy as holy, considering the path of Jainism as equivalent to other paths, and considering other faiths as equivalent to Jainism, understating the facts of Jainism, overstating the facts of Jainism, or stating contrary to the facts of Jainism, disrespecting teachers, saints, etc., not believing in religious practices, glorifying ignorance, and ill behaving with teachers, saints, etc. If I have indulged in any of these above 25 beliefs personally, asked, or encouraged others to do so, then in the presence of infinite siddhas and kevalis, I ask for forgiveness. May all my such faults be dissolved. Thus, Michhami Dukadam.
Thank you. Lesson number 36. Sivam Sangvi. Did I say it? That's what I read. Siva. Okay. Thoughtfulness of my life.
Okay, thank you. I reflect on and confess my failures to think of three aspirations, which are number one, when shall I get rid of possessions from minimum to maximum of it? Number two, when shall I give up living as a Shravak and resort to Monshuk?
Monkhood.
Monkhood. Number three, and the last, regarding death, I wish I can accept fast until death and die laying in one position without anybody's help, or with help of someone to change my laying down position, or while I am moving around. If I indulge in any of this above faults or lapses by physical, verbal, or mental activities, directly and or indirectly, then I pray that my such faults be dissolved. Tasami michhami tukadam.
Thank you. Lesson 37. Shreya Udani.
Four auspicious entities. Aryans are auspicious, Siddhas are auspicious, Sadhus are auspicious. The religion taught by Kevalis is auspicious. Four supreme entities. Aryans are supreme, Siddhas are supreme, Sadhus are supreme. The religion taught by Kevalis is supreme. I seek shelter in four. I seek shelter in Arihants. I seek shelter in Siddhas. I seek shelter in Sadhus. I seek shelter in the religion taught by Kevalis. Those who accept these four auspicious supreme entities and seek their shelters will cross the ocean of life and end all karmas. The endless happiness of moksha is attained by them who sing their praises faithfully. In this world, these four are the only shelters, and there are no other shelters. Those who solicit the shelter of these four attain the imperishable eternal status. They attain moksha.
Lesson 38. Deep Sangvi.
First, I beg forgiveness from the present Tirthankars and Kevali lords who dwell in the Panch Mahavidek Kshetra. By praising the virtues of these lords, even with slight interest, many karmas will be expelled. If this is done with deep interest, then one may earn the Tirthankar Gotra Nam Karma. Some of these 20 Tirthankars are Shri Simandar Swami, Shri Jagmandar Swami, Shri Bahu Swami, Shri Subahu Swami, Shri Sujatnath Swami, Shri Swayamprabha Swami, Shri Rishabhanana Swami, Shri Anantavirya Swami, Shri Suprabha Swami, Shri Vishalaprabha Swami, Shri Vajradhar Swami, Shri Chandranan Swami, Shri Chandrabahu Swami, Shri Bhujanga Dev Swami, Shri Ishwar Swami, Shri Nemaprabha Swami, Shri Veersen Swami, Shri Mahabhadra Swami, Shri Devajasa Swami, and Shri Ajit Sen Swami. To these 22,160 Tirthankars and to 30 to 90 million Kevali lords, be our salutations at every moment. How are these lords? Such are these lords who know and perceive our thoughts, who know and perceive every happening, who know and perceive the occurrences of all times, and who see the 14 Rajloks as clearly as water taken in hands. These lords have infinite knowledge, Gyan, infinite vision, Darshan, infinite character, Charitra, infinite austerity, Tapa, infinite patience, Dhairya, and infinite vigor, Virya. They bear 6 virtues. The Tirthankars bear 34 unique qualities, 35 types of truth involving speeches, 1008 excellences, and are devoid of 18 violations and bear 12 virtues. They all have already done away with 4 Ghati karmas and are desirous of destroying the remaining 4 Akati karmas for going to Mukti Shila. They solve the doubts of Jeeves, they possess all the means, they are able-bodied, Keval Gnani, Keval Darshi, and possess the God-said character. They possess perfect true faith, topmost meditation, purest you, and purest virtues. By the 64 Indras, they are worth adoring, saluting, and worshipping. They possess the greatest vigor and such other virtues. Blessed are those villages, cities, townships, and the capital cities where these lords must be preaching. There, the kings, ministers, family heads, community heads, and such other personalities listening to the preachings of the lords must be purifying their ears. They are blessed. Seeing the Lord and having a glance at him, they must be purifying their eyes. They are blessed. By giving away the provisions, food, water, etc., and 14 such other type of donations, they must be purifying their hands. They are blessed. O great lords, you dwell in Panch Mahavidek Kshetra, and I, a sinner, humble servant, virtueless, am sitting here. Any sins pertaining to your Gyan, Darshan, Charitra, and Tap, whatever disrespect, ill behavior, ill worship, or offense has been committed, then with folded hands, shunning pride, and bowed head, I repeatedly beg for your forgiveness. Tassam ichhami dukram.
Thank you. Lesson 39, Ahan Sangvi.
Second, I beg forgiveness from the infinite Siddha Lords. By praising the virtues of these Lords, even with slight interest, many karmas will be expelled. If this is done with deep interest, then one may earn the Tirthankar Gotra Nam Karma. The names of the 24 Tirthankars who have become Siddhas from the Bharat Kshetra in the current time cycle, Avasmini Kal are Sri Rishabdev Swami, Sri Ajitnath Swami, Sri Sambhavnath Swami, Sri Abhinandan Swami, Sri Sumatinath Swami, Sri Padma Prabhu Swami, Sri Suparshanath Swami, Sri Chandra Prabhu Swami, Sri Suvidhinath Swami, Sri Shitalnath Swami, Sri Shreyansnath Swami, Sri Vasupurya Swami, Sri Vimalnath Swami, Sri Anatnath Swami, Sri Dharmanath Swami, Sri Shantanath Swami, Sri Kuntunath Swami, Sri Aranath Swami, Sri Malinath Swami, Sri Munisura Swami, Sri Naminath Swami, Sri Neminath Swami, Sri Parshanath Swami and Sri Mahabal Swami. I offer obeisance at every moment from to these 24 Tirthankars and infinite others who have lived earlier, who have destroyed all 8 types of karmas and have been liberated. The 8 types of karmas are knowing obscuring karma, jnana varnya karma, perception obscuring karma, the darshan varnya, feeling producing kara, vedanya karma, delusion causing karma, mohaniya karma, lifespan determining karma, ayush karma, physique determining karma, nam karma, status determining karma, gotra karma, inability causing karma, antari karma. Destroying all 8 karmas, they dwell above Mukshila, the platform of liberation. Where is this Mukshila? First comes the Jyotishkara. 790 Jojans away from this earth is the galaxy of the stars. 10 Jojans further is the abode of the sun. 80 Jojans above that is the abode of the moon. 4 Jojans above that is the abode of the constellations. 4 Jojans above that is the abode of Mercury. 3 Jojans above that is the abode of Venus. 3 Jojans above that is the abode of Jupiter. 3 Jojans above that is the abode of Mars. And lastly, 3 Jojans above that is the abode of Saturn. Thus, till 900 Jojans extends this Jyotish Chakra. Millions of Yojans away, there are 12 Devloks. Innumerable Jojans are above these are the 9 Gravyaks. Innumerable Jojans above that are the 5 highest abodes. 12 Jojans above the banners of these great abodes is the Mukshila. How is this Mukshila? This Mukshila has a diameter of 4.5 million Jojans, has a central thickness of 8 Jojans, and the circumference is as thin as the wing of a fly, and is as bright as a cow's milk, the moon, a gem, a silver bat, a pearl necklace, or even the milky ocean. Even brighter than them have all combined. One Jojan above this Mukshila is the sixth part of its last 2 miles, 12 above the blemishless, formless Siddha Lords. The Siddha Lords are colorless, odorless, matterless, formless, imperishable, hungerless, miseryless, diseaseless, without sadness, birthless, ageless, deathless, bodiless, karmaless, eternal and abode of unending bliss and happiness. Great art thou, O Lords. You dwell in the Siddha Kshetra, in the state of liberation. And I, a sinner, a humble servant, virtueless, am sitting here. If I have indulged in any of the lapses of pertaining to your knowledge, perception, character, and austerities, or if I have been instrumental of any disrespect, ill behavior, ill worship, or offense, then with folded hands, shunning pride, and bowing head, I repeatedly beg for your forgiveness. Tastamithami Dukram.
Thank you. Lesson number 40, Sivali Sangvi.
Third, I beg forgiveness from the Ganadhars and past and present acharyas, upadhyas, and sadhuis. The Ganadhars possess 52 virtues, acharyas possess 36 virtues, and upadhyas possess 25 virtues, and sadhus possess 27 virtues. We are truly indebted to our religious teachers, preceptors, and preachers who are great scholars, great monks, great men, who know the essence of the scriptures and are well versed in it. They are on the path of salvation and they guide others on the same path. They are like a boat or a voyage ship helping us to cross the ocean of life. They are like a wish-fulfilling gem ornamental to the Jain religion. Also, all the Ganadhars and many acharyas, upadhyas, and sadhus have already attained liberation or heaven by repentance, criticism of their own sins, etc., so we are highly obliged to them. Also in the universe there are at present acharyas and upadhyas possessing similar virtues, all living under the command of Sri Vitrag Lords. Their number may range from 200 to 900 million. Let our repeated salutations be to them. How are these masters? They are followers of the 5 great vows of non-violence, truth, non-stealing, celibacy, and possessionlessness. They practice 5 samitis that lay down ways and methods of carrying out essential activities of life, and 3 guptis pertaining to the control of mind, speech, and body. They have innate affection for all 6 types of living beings. They are free from 7 types of fears and 8 types of prides. They practice absolute celibacy, strictly following the 9 guidelines. They practice the 10-fold religion of the monks. They practice 12 types of austerities and 17 types of restraints. They are overcome the 22 types of adversities and are embedded with 27 attributes of the monks. They take food free from all violations. They avoid indulging in the 52 types of misdoings. They have abandoned the use of inanimate things and only inanimate things. They have abandoned the wealth and passions and all the worldly attachments. They are oceans of equanimity and are full of sympathy, etc. virtues. You dwell in villages, townships, cities, etc., and I, a sinner, a humble servant, virtueless, am sitting here. If I have indulged in any lapses pertaining to your knowledge, perception, character, and austerities, or if I have been instrumental of any disrespect, ill behavior, ill worship, or offense, then with folded hands, shunning pride, and bowed head, I repeatedly beg for your forgiveness. Tasamichami dukram.
Thank you. Lesson 41, Sanjay Sangvi. Ahan, Mike.
Salutations to Sri Shravak and Shravikas. Next, I beg forgiveness from Shravak and Shravikas, the lay followers of true faith, who are numerable within Adi Dweep, 2.5 islands, and innumerable outside Adi Dweep. These Adi Dweeps and Jambu Dweep, the Tikan Dweep, and half of Pushwakar Dweep. Each dweep consists of 3 kshetras, regions, which are Bharat, Mahavide, and Airavat kshetras. How are these Shravak and Shravikas? They exceed you and me in charity, character, austerity, virtues, etc. They do Pratikraman, inclusive of 6 essentials, twice a day. In a month, they do 2, 4, or 6 poshads or live saintly lives. With true faith, they bear the 12 vows, 11 meditations, and 3 aspirations. They have sympathy towards all weaker lives. They know the 9 fundamentals of life. They bear 21 virtues of the Shravaks. They consider others' wealth and position as totally useless to them, like stones. They consider all men and women except their spouses as fathers, sons, or mother, sisters. They're firmly religious and unshakable even by deities. The spirit of religion is marrow deep. If I have indulged in any disrespect, misbehavior, or offense to such Shravak and Shravikas, then with folded hands, shunning pride and bowed head, I repeatedly beg for their forgiveness. I apologize to Shravak Shravikas. I apologize to those who bear true vision. I apologize to the obliging brothers and sisters. I apologize to the parents. I also apologize to the 8.4 million type of lives which are as under. 700,000 earth-bodied, 700,000 water-bodied, 700,000 fire-bodied, 700,000 air-bodied, 1 million vegetable-bodied, 1.4 million ordinary vegetable and plant-bodied, 200,000 Bendriya, soul with 2 senses, 200,000 Tendriya, soul with 3 senses, 200,000 Choindriya, soul with 4 senses, 400,000 hellish beings, 400,000 heavenly beings, 400,000 beasts and Panchendriyas, soul with 5 senses, 1.4 million of human beings. While trespassing, getting up or sitting down, knowingly or unknowingly, if I have slain or have gotten the slain, pierced or cut, pained or tortured any of these living beings, then in the presence of Arhants and infinite Siddha Lords, I pray for my sins being dissolved. Tasamicha Vedagram. I forgive all, may all forgive me. I am friendly to all, I have enmity for none.
Thank you. Lesson 42, Jia.
I bow down to Arihants, Siddhas, Acharyas, Upadhyayas, and those two universal fraternity of sadhus and sadhvis. These fivefold observances destroys all sins and foremost among all the auspicious activities.
Thank you. We need volunteers for 43 and 44. Anybody? Go ahead. In the front, Ahan. And 44, anybody on this side after this?
Desire for atonement. O forgiving Gurudev, I offer obeisance when keeping away from all sins to the extent of my power. O forgiving Gurudev, bowing my head, I ask your forgiveness for the faults that have been done and the sins committed while undertaking essential activities during the day. O forgiving Gurudev, I will refrain from all of the 33 unworthy acts, false notions, evil mind, rude word, or improper physical act, anger, pride, deception, or greed, which upset every religious vow by undue behavior. O forgiving Gurudev, I repent for such unworthy acts, and in your presence I atone for the same, and I will keep my soul away from all sins.
Thank you. Lesson 44.
I do Kayasarg, that is, forsake all activities by adopting a motionless posture for repenting and achieving further purification, and for nullifying and destroying my sins and karmas by remaining at one place for uplifting of my blemished soul. Let my Kayasarg be unbroken and non-violent from exceptions such as breathing in or out, coughing, sneezing, yawning, burping, passing bodily gases, dizziness, vomiting sensation, fainting, subtle bodily movements such as swallowing sputum or flickering of eyes, or by fear of thieves, king, fire, fierce animals, etc., until I complete it by mentally reciting Naukar to the Arihants. I will keep my body steady at one place in complete silence and meditation, and keep away from all sinful activities. Now stay in Kayasarg for 25 respirations.
We'll do 4 Nokar mantras. Saukai Taya Maranjana Pranam Vosirami. Recite 4 Nokar mantras. Good morning, Pranam. Charmi, mic to Kokilaben Dosi, she's in the back. I don't have many sign-ups, so volunteers will be helpful.
Prayer to 24 Tirthankars and all Siddhas. I chant, appreciate, and praise Arihant Lords and the Kevali Lords, who are the destroyers of karma, enemies, conquerors of love and hatred, founders of fourfold Sanghas, and who cause luminescence in the entire universe. I bow down to them. The names of these 24 Tirthankars are Sri Rishabdev Swami, Sri Ajitnath Swami, Sri Samvatsari Swami, Sri Abhinandan Swami, Sri Sumatinath Swami, Sri Padma Prabhu Swami, Sri Paryushan Swami, Sri Chandra Prabhu Swami, Sri Suvidinath Swami, Sri Shitalnath Swami, Sri Shiransnath Swami, Sri Vasupujap Swami, Sri Vimalnath Swami, Sri Anantnath Swami, Sri Dharmanath Swami, Sri Shantinath Swami, Sri Kuntanath Swami, Sri Aranath Swami, Sri Malinath Swami, Sri Manisuvrat Swami,
Shri Naminath Swami, Shri Neminath Swami, Shri Parshvanath Swami, and Shri Mahavir Swami. May these 24 Tirthankars and other Kevali Jinas who have shred off the karma particles, who have destroyed and ended the cycle of aging and death, be pleased with me. O Lord Siddhas, you are supreme in the universe, free from karmas. I have praised you verbally, bowed down to you physically, and worshipped you mentally. Hence do bestow upon me the benefit of true faith and deep meditation, and may you give me the supreme position of Siddha. O Lord Siddhas, purer than the moon, brighter than the sun, calmer than oceans, confer upon me the blessed liberation. Doing Pratikraman with right faith, I offer obeisance to the 24 Janeshwaras by 3 means, which are mentally, verbally, and physically. Thus, having repented for sins, having reverted back from sins, having criticized the sins, having become free from thorns, I repeatedly apologize to Arihants, Siddhas, teachers, preceptors, sadhus, and gurus. Thus, Michhami Dukram. I take a vow from now until sunrise for next 1 or 2 hours, if it is a Raisi Pratikraman, to abstain from the following 4 kinds of foods: solid foods, drinks, dry fruits, and mouth-freshening spices. I would be pardoned if anything was forced into my mouth, or if I put anything in mouth unintentionally, or if I have to break this vow as per instruction of my religious teacher to prevent my meditation from being disturbed by obsession. O Lord, first Samaik, second Chovisanto, third Vandana, fourth Pratikraman, fifth Kausak, and sixth Pachkan. All the 6 essentials have been completed. Regarding this, if any letter, word, verse has been unsaid, oversaid, or otherwise said, then in the presence of Arihants and infinite said Lords, I pray that the said lapses be dissolved. Thus, Michhami Dukram. Pratikraman done with false belief is equivalent to being without vows, and that done with reluctance is equivalent to being involved in passions. In such cases, the ritual may be subject to different lapses and violations. If I have been involved in thinking of committing such violations, atikrama, or made preparation for the commission of such violations, vyatrikrama, or attempted to commit such violations, atichar, or actually committed the violations, anachar, knowingly or unknowingly, then in the presence of Arihants and infinite Siddha Lords, I pray that all my such faults be dissolved. Thus, Michhami Dukram. Regarding Pratikraman of the past deeds, Sanvar of the present ones, and Pachkan for the time to come, if any sins or lapses unknowingly or unknowingly incurred, then in the presence of Arihants and infinite Siddha Lords, I pray that all my such faults be dissolved. Thus, Michhami Dukram.
Thank you. Need a volunteer for 46, 48? Go ahead. Ahan, in the front. Anybody this side, 47? Yeah. Go ahead.
I bow down to Arihant, Siddhas, Acharyas, Upadhyas, and to the universal fraternity of sadhus and sadhus. Fivefold obeisance destroyer all sins and is the foremost among all auspicious activities.
Thank you. 747.
After offering obeisance to Lord Santinatha, who is the abode of bliss and who has destroyed all the perturbations, I am praying the same Lord.
No, it's not the same. Sorry. You want to read? Yeah. This is the forgiveness lesson. Sorry, Riyamichani.
Which page is that on?
I wouldn't know. It's online. If you can see, you can read it. It's a universal forgiveness. Yeah, it's okay. We will read it from the screen here. Assis, please go ahead. Mike, Ahan, in front.
universal forgiveness and friendship. Kamemi Save Jiva, I grant forgiveness to all living beings. Savye Jiva Kamantume, all living beings grant me forgiveness. Meti me Savye Bhuyasu, my friendship is with all living beings. Veram Majam Kenai, my enmity is totally non-existent.
Right, now we will all recite together. Michami Dukram to everyone. Michami Dukram to the entire community. Michami Dukram to all beings. This concludes our Pratikraman, and now we have to end our Samaik, so we'll proceed to that. Lesson 48, any volunteer? Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
End of Samaik, obeisance to Five Supreme. Namo Aryantam, I bow down to Aryans. Namo Siddhanam, I bow down to Siddhas. Namo Aryanam, I bow down to Acharyas. Namo Ujjainam, I bow down to Upadhyas. Namo Loe Savasam, I bow down to the universal fraternities of sadhus and sadhvis. This fivefold obeisance destroys all sins and is the foremost among all the auspicious activities.
Thank you.
The preceptor effectively controls 5 sense organs and observes 9 guidelines, limitations of celibacy. He/she is free from 4 passions of anger, ego, deceit, and greed. He/she is thus equipped with these 18 attributes. He/she practices 5 great vows of non-violence, truth, non-accepting anything unless specifically offered, celibacy, and non-possession. He/she is capable to observe 5-fold code of knowledge, perception, conduct, austerity, and vigor. He/she observes 5 careful actions pertaining to movements, utterance, desires, acceptance, and disposal. He/she effectively controls 3 aspects of mind, speech, and body. In all, my preceptor is thus embedded with these 36 attributes.
Thank you. Lesson 50. Yeah.
With 3 times clockwise movements of folded hands, I bow down and kneel down to you. I honor you, Lord, and I respect you. You are blessed, you are auspicious, you are divine, you are learned, and you give peace to all souls.
Thank you. Anybody for the next 52? Sorry, 51.
I desire to free myself from all my sins. I may have pained living beings while walking on the road, while coming or going. I may have crushed living beings, seeds, plants, dew, anthills, spider webs, live water, or live earth. Whatever living beings or souls with 1 sense, 2 sense, 3 senses, 4 senses, or 5 senses that I may have inflicted pain, crushed, attacked, covered with dust, rubbed, collided with one another, tormented by turning on one side or completely upside down, moved from one place to another, frightened, bothered, alarmed, or separated from life, may all such sins be dissolved.
52.
I do Kasak. This is forsake all activities by adopting a motionless posture for repenting and achieving further purification, and for nullifying and destroying my sins and karmas by remaining at one place for uplifting of my blemished soul. Let my Kausak be unbroken and non-violate from exceptions such as breathing in or out, coughing, sneezing, yawning, burping, passing bodily gas, says dizziness, vomiting sensation, fainting, supple bodily movements such as swallowing, septum, or flickering of eyes by thieves. King fire, fierce animals, etc. Until I complete it by mentally reciting Navkar Pad to the Arihants, I will keep my body steady at one place in complete silence and meditation and keep away from all sensual activities.
Thank you. We'll do the Nokar mantra. Kalsar for 4 Nokars. Taukai Thana Mananjana Pana Vosirami 4 Nokars. Riya Metta for lesson 53.
I chant, appreciate, and praise Arihant Lords and the Kevali Lords, who are the destroyers of karma enemies, conquerors of love and hatred, founders of fourfold sanghas, and who cause luminescence in the entire universe. I bow down to them. The names of these 24 Tirthankars are Sri Rishabdev Swami, Sri Ajitnath Swami, Sri Sambhavnath Swami, Sri Abhinandan Swami, Sri Sumatinath Swami, Sri Padma Prabhu Swami, Sri Suparshvanath Swami, Sri Chandra Prabhu Swami, Sri Suvidinath Swami, Sri Sheetalnath Swami, Sri Shreyansnath Swami, Sri Vasupuja Swami, Sri Vimalnath Swami, Sri Anantnath Swami, Sri Dharmanath Swami, Sri Shantinath Swami, Sri Kunthunath Swami, Sri Aranath Swami, Sri Malinath Swami, Sri Muni Suvrat Swami, Sri Naminath Swami, Sri Neminath Swami, Sri Parshvanath Swami, and Sri Mavar Swami. May these 24 Tirthankars and Kevali Jinas who have removed the karma particles, who have destroyed and ended the cycle of aging and death, be pleased with me. O Lord Siddhas, you are supreme in the universe, free from karmas. I have praised you verbally, bowed down to you physically, and worshipped you mentally. Hence do bestow upon me the benefit of true faith and deep meditation, and may you give me the supreme position of Siddha. O Lord Siddhas, purer than the moon, brighter than the sun, calmer than oceans, confer upon me the blessed liberation.
Thank you. We will do Mopatti and Vandana. Just watch me. 1, 2, put it in the, fold it, and then on your left hand 3 times, up, down, 1, 2, and 3, and then move on the left hand, right hand, done. We will put this down for the Vandana. Shami Kwan Suramandiv Janu Jai Nisi Yai Anujanam Memyugam Nisi Hi Aho Kayam Kayam Kamni Jo Be Kilamo Pakran Tanam Bausuben Be Divaso Vaikanto Jatabe Javani Janchambe Kamemi Kamasamro. And now I'm going to recite Moti Santi, and then we will have 2 more last lessons. Bobo Bhavya Sunuta Vachanam Prastutam Sarvameta Ye Yatrayam Tribhuvana Guroraharta Bhakti Bhajaha Tesam Santiri Bhavatu Bhavata Mahradadi Prabhava Darogya Sri Dutimati Kari Kalash Vidvamsa Hetu Bobo Bhavyaloka Ihai Bharatai Ravat Videha Sambhavanam Samasta Tirtha Kunta Janma Sasana Panantar Mavadina Vignaya Sodarmadipati Susoda Ganta Chalana Nantaram Sakala Surendrayam Sah Samagatya Savinay महर्द पट्टारकं गृहीत्वा गत्वा कनकादिकृसे विहित जन्माभिषेकः शांति मुद्गोषयति यथा ततोहम कृतां दुकारमिति कृत्वा महाजनो येन गतः गत संपत्ता इति भव्यजनैः सह समेत्व स्नात्रपीठे स्नात्रं विदाय शांति मुद्गुष्यामि तत् पूजा यात्रा स्नात्रादि महोस्वरानंतर मिति कृत्वा कर्ण दत्वा निशम्यन्तां स्वाहा ओम पुण्याहं प्रियंतां भगवंतो अर्थः सर्वदर्शिन स्त्रीलोकनाथ श्रीलोक महिता श्रीलोक पूज्या श्रीलोकेश्वरा श्रीलोकोद्यकरा ओम ऋषभ अजित संभव अभिनंदन सुमति पद्मप्रभ सुपार्श्व चंद्रप्रभ सुविधि शीतल श्रेयांस वासु पूज्य विमल अनंत धर्म शांति कुंतु और मल्ली मुनि सुव्रत नमी नेमी पार्थ पार्श्व वर्धमानांता जिनाः शांता शांतिकरा भवन्तु स्वाहा ओम मुनियो विनिप्रवरा रूपी विजय दुर्भिक्ष कांतारसु दुर्गमारेषु रक्षन्तु वो नित्यं स्वाहा ओम ह्रीं श्रीं द्रुति मति कीर्ति कांतिक बुद्धि लक्ष्मी मेघा विद्यासाधन प्रवेश निवेशनेषु सुगृहित नामानो जयन्तु तुते जिनेन्द्राः ओम रोहिणी प्रज्ञाप्ति व्रजशुक्ला व्रजकुशी अप्रति चक्रा पुरुषदत्ता काली महाकाली गौरी गांधारी सर्व स्नात्र महाज्वला मानवी वैराट्य अच्युत मानस महामानसी षोडश विद्यादेशो सक्षन्तु ओम नित्यं स्वाहा ओम आचार्योपाध्याय प्रभृति चातुर्वर्णस्य श्री समण संघस्य शांतिरिभवतु तुष्टिरिभवतु पुष्टिरिभवतु ओम ग्रहांश सूर्यागारक बुध बृहस्पति शुक्र शनैश्वर राहु केतु सहिता सलोकपालाः सोम यम वरुण कुबेर वास वादिन्त्य स्कंद विनायकोपेता ये चानियप्ति ग्रामनगर क्षेत्र देवता दयस्ते सर्वे प्रियंताम अक्षिस कोण कोष्ठकारा नरपत्थर स्व भवन्तु स्वाहा ओम पुत्र मित्र भातृ कलत्र सुहद समजन संबंधी बंधुवर्ग सहिता नित्यम चामोद प्रमोद कारिणः अस्मिन् च भूमंडलायन यतन निवासी साधु साध्वी श्रावक साविकाणां रोग प्रसर्ग व्याधि दुख दुर्भिक्ष धर्मण्य श्योम वस नामाय शांतिरिभवतु ओम तुष्टिरिभवतु ओम तुष्टि पुष्टि रुद्धि विद्या मांगल्योत्स्वाहा सदा प्राद भूतानि पापानि सान्यन्तु दुरितानि क्षत्र वह परामुखा सवन्तु स्वाहा श्रीमते शांतिनाथाय नमः शांति विदायिने त्रैलोक्यस्या राविदिस मुकुटा ब चिंतादये शांति ही शांति कर श्रीमान शांति दिशतु मे गुरु शांतिरेव सदा तेषां शांति गृहे गृहे उन्मुष्ट रिष्ट दुष्ट ग्रह दस्त स्व पदुर्निमित्तादि संपादित हित संप ग्राम ग्रहणम जयति शांते श्री सग्ग जनपद राज दिशा राज विसनानम गोष्ठिक पुरुमुख्याणां वहारणे विहारे चंतमितम श्री समण संघस्य शांतिरिभवतु श्री जिनपदानां शांतिरिभवतु श्री राजादिदानां शांतिरिभवतु श्री राजसन्निवेशानां शांतिरिभवतु श्री गोष्ठिकानां शांतिरिभवतु श्री पौरमुख्याणां शांतिरिभवतु श्री पौरजनस्य शांतिरिभवतु श्री ब्रह्मलोकस्य शांतिरिभवतु ओम स्वाहा ओम श्री पार्श्वनाथाय स्वाहा ऐसा शांतिं प्रतिष्ठा यात्रा स्नात्रा दवसाने सुख शांति कलशम गृहीत्वा कुंकुम चंदन कपूरा गुरु धूप वास कुसुमांजलि समेत स्नात्र चतुर्शिकाया श्री संघ समेत सुचि सुविचि वपु पुष्प वस्त्र दंत्र नाभरलालम कृतः पुष्पमालां कंठे कृत्वा शांति मुद्घोषयित्वा शांतिपिनीयं मस्तके दात व्यमीति नृत्यन्ति नृत्यं मणिपुष्पवर्ष सुञ्जाति गायन्ति च मंगलानि स्तोत्राणि गोत्राणि पंठाति पंत्रां कल्याण बाजो हिजिनाभिषेके शिवमस्तु सर्वजगतः परिहित निरता भवन्तु बुद्गणा दोषाः प्रयान्तु नाशं सर्वत्र सुखी भवन्तु लोका अहम तीर्थमाया शिवादेशी तुम्ह नियर निवासिनी अहम शिवम तुभम शिवम अशिव शिवम शिवम भवतु स्वाहा उपसर्गा शम्यन्ति सिद्ध्यन्ति विघ्नवलय मन प्रसन्न सामेति पूज्यमाने जनेश्वरे सर्वमंगल मांगल्यम सर्वकल्याण कारणम प्रधानम सर्वधर्माणम जैनम जयति शासनम लेसन नंबर 55 संजय भाई गो अहेड अहन भाई माइक change to 55 lesson. Okay.
procedure to complete Samayak. I've completed Samayak subject to the limitations of matter, space, time, and attitude. In this vow of Samayak, there were 5 faults to be avoided. They were mentally indulging in a foul way, indulging in foul language, indulging in foul acts, negligence or carelessness, and terminating it too soon. If I have indulged in any of the above, then may all such faults be dissolved. Tasame chame dukram. If I have not behaved properly, not observed properly, not worshipped properly, as ordained by Lord Vitrag, then may all lapses be dissolved. While performing Samaik, if I have indulged in any of the mental gossips about sex, food, or politics, then may all such faults be dissolved. While performing Samaik, if I have fallen prey to any of the 4 instincts of appetite, fear, passion, or possessiveness, then may all my such lapses be dissolved. While performing Samaik, if I have thought of committing violations, Pratikraman, made preparation for the commission of such violations, Vyatikarma, attempted to commit such violations, Atichara, or actually committed the violations, Anachara, of any restraints, then may all my such lapses be dissolved. Samaik Vrat was undertaken, performed, and completed in a professed manner. If any error has crept, then may all such lapses be dissolved. While performing Samaik, during recitations, if any scriptural errors have been committed by way of omissions, inclusions, or variations of the text, then may all my errors be dissolved. Tasame Chamedukram. They are my religious teachers, preceptors, and preachers, conferers of true faith and knowledge, the ornaments of path of Jainism, and are worth of many titles. I offer obeisance to them now and again, and let it reach wherever they may be.
Thank you, and we do last kavsak of 1 nokar. Tau kai tharanam monam janam appanam vo sirami. 1 nokar. Now for the last part, we are going to recite Navkar Mantra. This is the last lesson 3 times. And before we start that, on behalf of all of us, we want to thank Andy. He came here just to help us with the process for the English Pratikraman on YouTube. Thank you, Andy. Bye. Thank you. Okay. 3 times. Namo Arihantanam. I bow down to Arihants. Sitanam. I bow down to Siddhas. Namo Aryanam. I bow down to Acharya. So panchana mukkar, sauva pava pranasana, manglanancha sauvesting, paramam havai mangalam. Michami dukram to everybody. Chami dukram. Okay. If someone can turn the lights on.